Welcome to a DropTent Media production.
Hey, welcome to the Weekday Comics. I'm Dave Primiano.
And I'm Dan D'Aprile, and we're here to shoot the shit and talk the news.
Hey, what's up? We're here, and Dave was about to confess
Back when I was
something.
a cutter. No.
Yeah, Dave was about to confess something very weird. We were talking about the knife section.
Why I don't collect knives.
Oh, okay, because you don't want to cut. Yeah.
Well, I'm clumsy too. I've had to work with box cutters a lot, and I've always I always went towards the body.
Okay. There's a real change in the vibe of the conversation where you ask your dude friend, "Did you own any knives?" And the first thing he does is just present them upside down. I'm like, okay, let's move on. Next subject. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Weekday Comics. We are here. We are back. We are following the news, unfortunately, but we got all that out of our system before we started rolling. We got a great guest tonight. Dave, you want to introduce our guest?
Sure. We have a newer comic, right? Yeah, you've been like 1 year in?
Kind of, sort of, not really though.
Okay.
I started doing open mic in 2010 when I came back from Iraq. But it's been a big gap between. So when I say I began in 2010, it's been about an 8-year hiatus. So COVID stopped me. So I went to a few before that, and then COVID happened, and then that gave me a reason not to go. And then gave me probably the last year or so, I've been starting to go back.
Right. We're not going to forget to say names. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
That deep voice, that deep sensuous voice you just heard belongs to Jaye Burrell.
Jaye Burrell.
Yeah.
Who has one of my favorite open mic stories. When I'd known you for a couple of months, but it was one of those things where I was like, I knew your name, but I wasn't sure how to pronounce it. And I was going to call you on stage. I don't know if you remember this. I was hosting this open mic, and I was like, Jay, and I was like, is it Burrell or Burrell? And just from the back of your the black one, man.
Yeah,
and I was like, please welcome Jaye Burrell.
Is Burrell white?
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
it's like Pat, Pat Burrell, right? Philly.
I'm here. I don't care about baseball, obviously.
Yeah, right. We are running directly against an amazing Phillies Diamondbacks game, and you're not even you're wearing an Eagles hat. I'm not even wearing anything related to sports. At least you're repping the Phils.
Okay,
that's
there
a
you
cool
go.
Hat. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's Carolina Panthers colors, though.
It is.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite colors. So, but anyway, I'm not helping. Go Phillies.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Go Phils.
Well, as I posted, I heard. I don't watch, but I heard yesterday that the announcers sucked. So I'm telling people, watch the game, mute it, listen to us.
There you go. That's probably the best accompaniment to the game.
Smartest thing to do.
Yeah, you can hear our awful takes on things to hopefully Harper
about Israel.
Yeah, who wants to hear a bunch of idiots talk about Israel while Castellanos hits a homer? But somebody said that Castellanos, he hits all of his homers when people are discussing awful things. I don't know if you know that about that. Castellanos has a rumor of
never even heard of him.
Oh really? Okay. I forget that baseball to you is all music after 1995.
It's
you
true.
Just don't pay attention to it. The brief is Nick Castellanos has this thing where if the announcers are on TV talking about something sad. I think the first time that happened, a guy dropped a slur for gay people on the air, and he was getting fired, and he was apologizing on the air. Go look it up if you haven't. It's amazing. So as he's apologizing on air, knowing it's his last day ever at work, Castellanos homers, and he has to announce the homer as he's like, I said a bad thing, and I should have never said it. Castellanos deep to right, and it's gone, and I promise, I will never say this again. It's amazing.
Because I saw the clip of the guy, he was talking about going to the Negro League Museum, but he didn't say Negro.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
I saw that one too.
Maybe that's what it was, but yeah, there was definitely a guy's last day of work, and then another one where there was a veterans. It might have been Veterans Day or something, and they were and of course we have so and so here who was maimed by an IED or some shit, and Castellanos homers. So that was last season. So now there's this rumor that if there's a tragedy going on,
nothing more will happen today.
Right, one of our players gets supercharged, and it just so happens he's having a historic run of home runs in the playoffs. So it's the war in Israel has supercharged our trauma-powered player, Nick Castellanos. So good luck to you out there. There's a lot of bad shit going on. So,
good luck with your blood home runs.
I'll take them. Red October, baby. Let's do it.
let's talk about Jay.
Let's get back to comedy. Enough baseball. If you wanted to fucking talk about baseball, you'd be watching baseball. We're here for comedy.
Watch both.
That's right, Jay. You do one of my favorite things that comedians do, which is that it's like Kevin Hart had a special titled it "Laugh at My Pain." I love it when comedians take their challenges and their struggles and they invert it and they make it something that they can own and make people laugh with. Yeah. And you've been doing that a lot with your comedy. I don't know if you want to talk about it.
No doubt. That's a beautiful way to check it out, to observe it. But ultimately, in the long run, I don't like being scared of things. So I've done quite a few things that I was afraid of and wound up being things that I actually like. One of those things that held me back in life, I think, has been my speech problem, my speech impediment. Just the things that I say on stage, to be able to speak on stage and within itself hasn't been even within the realm of possibility for me before the age of, I say, 31. Wow. So just as a kid, as bad as I spoke, just to say I'm going to one day try to be on stage and try to come up with jokes to say on stage within itself is just beyond. I don't know. I can't explain it. So.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's like, because it's in and of itself a very, very difficult thing to do, right? You have to stand up there and almost justify yourself to everyone looking at you. Like a lot of people that don't do comedy don't really understand the pressure that you feel when you get on stage, even if it's like a tiny little bar show or something like that, because everyone looks at you with this expectation of, oh, all right, if you're there, you must belong there. Yeah. Show me you belong there. Yeah. And to then do that with something that might make it even harder for you to communicate, it's impressive. Like I'm just fat and I let that stop me get out. Sometimes I'm like, I'm too fucking tired to go to an open mic. That's what I mean. Like that's what's keeping me from becoming a better comedian sometimes. I can't imagine having to overcome like an actual communication disability. I'm just tired and fat, and then that's it. That's why I didn't go to the mic, this week.
That's funny.
Yeah. So is it because you have it like rehearsed stuff in your head? Does it make it easier? Because you have more control over it on stage. I feel like I've noticed.
I really do. That's one thing that's surprised me. My first few times on stage, I remember almost my first 5 times on stage. That was one of the first things that surprised me. I didn't have problems. Like I would be having a conversation with somebody on my phone before I'm on stage and would not be able to speak, just like I was 15 seconds ago. So I would go up on stage and it would be a totally different person. It was almost like kryptonite to my speech problem. I call it my little ghost. I call my ghost remix. So my remix ghost that follows me around. It was almost like a church to my ghost or something. But anyway, it surprised me how much I did not stutter. So then that's when I started to record myself, and that's when I could critique my own jokes for one, and then it just it still surprised me till this day. When you see me stuttering on stage a whole lot, it means that I'm very comfortable.
Okay, that's
interesting. I would have thought the opposite.
Yeah, as a kid, it probably was. It was more so when I'm nervous and stuff. But I don't know, like job interviews.
Yeah.
Important phone calls. I'll speak very clear and good and like I'm taking my time like I can right now. I know how to speak well. Mm-hmm. It's just me, myself. I'm a human. I want to speak at my own pace. I want to say things fast. Yeah. And that's part of the problem within itself. It's just me following through with the things that I need to do.
Yeah, I mean, I find like with comedy too that a lot of times you're moving faster. Your mind can be moving faster than your mouth is. A lot of times you're way ahead of yourself, or you're above yourself, kind of like watching when you're telling jokes that you know by heart. And a lot of times I think when it's interesting to hear that when you're comfortable, because I feel like, at least for me, I don't know how it is for you, Dave, but like when I'm feeling comfortable, that's when I can exist. Well, it's actually weird. I can do it, but you have your best sets when you're completely in your own mind and body. So I mean, maybe like with having to, I guess my first question would be, do you have to, when you're on stage, are you more consciously wrangling with it, or is it like you said, it was your like remix ghost? Does it kind of swoop in and strike while you're performing, or do you know like in your act you have like problem areas that you might have to like get through?
It all varies because I don't have a 100% set way I do open mic. Sometimes I go up there and my whole 5 minutes up there has been prepared. I'm more prepared, and other times, even though I'm prepared, I forget when I'm on stage, so it winds up being half freestyle and prepared.
Yeah.
So it varies. So when I do go up there and I am able to say the things that I'm 100% prepared with, they're more likely to come out clear. When I'm just freestyling and I'm again the places that I frequent, the places I recognize you guys from, I'm more comfortable there, and I'm more comfortable with the crowd there.
Right.
So I'm more likely to have a speech problem there.
So you're more comfortable going off the cuff than you are with prepared material, like with stuff that you've done before?
Up to this point, yeah. I found that out as a kid when I was forced to MC a end of the school year auditorium thing for the whole school.
Like
one of those things I never went to.
In like 6th grade, and they forced me. Well, he ain't forced me, but he called out the list and he said who all he wanted to do what role, and he called me up for an MC. Now, and I don't know if he was aware that I had a speech problem, but I made him aware after class. I remember his name and everything. I don't know if I should say his name or not, but
only if you want to blast him out live on the internet, you know.
Mr. Finney, but he actually helped me
He
out.
might spit on you later.
Nah.
Dave has been spat on because of this podcast.
Really?
Yeah, so it's sort of a long story. As long as you didn't say Mr. Finney's shouldn't be a stripper, can't be a stripper.
Right.
I think you'll be okay.
I never said that.
I don't know who said it. One of us said it.
No matter how I get spat on from now on, it's his fault.
I've been blaming him.
Yeah, that's fine. I've been blaming you. I feel like you got what you deserve. That's how I feel.
You'll get there.
Yeah, I just haven't been to Bar 13 yet. I haven't been to the Splash.
So he didn't do this as some sort of forced therapy or whatever?
No, I don't know why he never told me. I was actually a new student at this school. So at the end of the year, he just was saying names. He picked me for the MC.
Were you let's say a fish out of water in this school? Was it
I was a new
primarily
student,
white
so
school?
nah. It was more so. It was mixed.
Okay.
I don't know why he picked me, but I think he liked me as a student. So for some reason, he chose me. And at the end of the class, I was like, "Hey, Mr. Affinity, blah blah blah. I can't talk right." And I'm saying this now as an adult, but at 14 years old, I really had this speech problem all the time.
Sure.
So, Mr. Finney, I can't talk right. How you gonna have me as a hosting this thing? It's gonna be forever.
Yeah.
He's like, no, just trust me.
As a new kid too, that's like putting you in front of the firing squad. Right
and the new,
they only had
in
3
front
minutes.
of the whole school.
Yeah, they only had 3 minutes of material. So we gotta stretch this out.
Spread this out, right? But I didn't have one problem throughout the whole speech.
That's awesome.
And it surprised me, and that's something I'll never forget. So.
No one accused you of faking after that?
Has anybody ever?
Nobody's ever observed me like that as a kid to say I was fake, and I didn't hear that until I was an adult. I don't know if you was just about to ask me that, but
with comedy, sometimes I know of another comedian, Drew Lynch, who has a stutter, and he gets asked all the time if he's faking it.
If his stuff, because now he doesn't have a stutter at all now.
Yeah, he got it. His was caused by like an injury. I believe he got hit by a hockey puck in the throat, like when he was playing hockey as a teenager, and it gave him the stutter. And I think once he got like rich, I don't know. I mean, we don't know each other that well. We talked like 2 or 3 times. And I think once he like made it, he must have gotten enough money.
Really? Cure for the stutters, the extra zero on the bank account.
Yeah. He called up Magic Shots. He's like, "Who's your guy?" Yeah. You guy can cure anything.
I think when I hit my first million, I think it might cure me too.
I'm willing to give it a shot, right? I don't know if
that's wild,
will help me, but.
That's crazy. He was in an accident that caused his stutter.
Yeah, his was different because he had like rather than something he was born with, it was something that he like happened to him due to like an injury. So I think that's why he was able to maybe get over it. I didn't know that he had gotten over it though. But yeah, I think it's something. But I remember always saying like and you do the same thing with some of your stuff. Like you have that great joke about, I'm not going to spoil it, but like about your stutter, and it Drew would do the same thing where it's like it almost becomes a superpower because while you're working to get through, the audience leans forward and they become really invested in hearing what you have to say. So then when you hit them with the punchline, it's like twice as funny because you've done what Dave and I can't more due to a skill issue, which is build tension in your set.
You think I'm above making up an impediment?
That's just not the disability I think you'd fake. That's all.
I haven't been Jewish this entire time. Gotcha.
Damn it. That means I am anti-Semitic.
Yeah, I've gotten away with so much stuff.
Yeah, the pass you've given me was useless. You tricked me, Primiano.
I mean, it was anyway.
I like to think that I gave you permission to make fun of the fats, and
No, I put the legwork in myself.
Yeah, you're not anymore. You've lost it. You've lost out of that gradient. But I want to go one podcast without complimenting your body.
I don't know.
So.
I'll step in as someone who's ripped. You're gross. Super gross. Disgusting to look at you.
Well, there you go. The former fat guy spoke, and he is the one that would know. So
former.
Yeah, Neil apparently used to be short too.
Yeah, I just kept eating. I love that people don't understand. Like, yeah, I got bigger, but I just kept eating more. It's not a hard equation. As I got bigger, I ate even more. Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Neil, very tall. I won't say skinny. You would be, but you work out, right? So you're pretty fit. Yeah, tall and fit.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be the lanky guy. Anyway,
that's okay.
Jay, so to clarify this, is because I know what Dave rudely interrupted the producer of this network for early on because it's his podcast. Like, what? Who gives a fuck about that?
Yeah, I mean,
down immediately. No, but so wait a second to define this. So if you have something prepared, you don't have a problem, or you have less of an issue with the stutter. It's when you are riffing that you have more of the stutter come along.
More so, yeah, because I'm winging it off the top of my head. Then,
right.
And, I'm having a regular chit chat on stage. I try that. I'm trying not to. I'm actually trying to get to that point where I'm always like that, where I'm not having to think about my joke. That's part of my problem on stage. But anyway, once I get there, then I think. Let me say this: it took me a while to actually even talk about my stuttering on stage. The first 15 times I was on stage, I never spoke about it. I just never had a speech problem on stage. I still got my old videos too from back in the day. I didn't bring my laptop, but I never had a speech problem on stage ever. And I never had one of those jokes where I spoke about my speech problem on stage. I was just amazed that I never stuttered while I was on the mic. So I didn't want to bring it up, and I felt dumb trying to fake it. Right. I remember my first few times faking it. I got laughs, and I remember after the joke, at the end of my sentence, after the end of everything else, somebody came up to me, and he was mocking me. He like, like he was making fun of me,
What the fuck?
and I ain't really appreciate it.
All right.
And
Did he think because you were just doing it as
yeah,
like a
because he
bit?
thought it was gonna be cool, and I had
Yeah,
to check myself. Then it just made the whole thing weird
yeah,
Mhm.
for me. And the fact that I actually had to fake it on stage.
That's
It wasn't
interesting
real.
to me. Yeah, that's really interesting to me because it's not then faking it for an effect. It's faking it because you're up there and all of a sudden this thing that like it you rely on almost, like you rely on it striking you from time to time, right?
Exactly.
It suddenly now is like fucking you over in another way, where it's now abandoning you when you want to tell people that you have it. It's crazy.
Exactly.
It almost seems like a conundrum. Like, is it insensitive? Because it's a problem that you have, but it's mocking it when you don't have it at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like it's circular in
Yeah,
nature.
yeah.
It's a flat circle. But no, that's what I'm wondering, because an audience, I mean, people that would comment on it, someone doing something, bananas on stage.
Yeah.
Let alone, I mean, we all as comics get someone who walks up to us and just goes like something dumb out of their mouth because they saw us on stage. But the idea of someone walking up to you and doing that is nuts. But also, though, I'm realizing that in this, they're seeing you speak, without an issue, and then getting off stage and talking to you, and then they're like, are you fucking with me or
Right.
what? So it's, I mean, yeah, that's okay. That's because I also love the idea that you have also the same problem we all do. It's like we could have a honed set, and then for one moment, I know a couple of comics go off a riff for a second, and, like you see them die.
Oh God, I love comics like that.
I'm sitting right here.
Yeah, that would be sorry, dude. Not like that would happen to you, but it's like it's that thing of like we all struggle if you get into a riff thing.
Yeah.
Right. It's funny because in a lot of ways, like a lot of the physical aspects of what you're trying to overcome kind of mirror the mental aspects that comedians are trying to overcome when they're on stage.
Yeah.
And it's like just strange how sometimes that will happen. I mean, the same way I'm sure with the jokes too, right? Sometimes you get up and you're set and you're ready to roll. Sometimes you step up and your own jokes in your own set just are gone from your mind, and you're like, what the fuck? And then you try to riff them, and then it's all ugly and like big, and you like none of your shit works right. And it's like really funny how that happens. And it's just strange to see that manifest like physically as well.
It's great that because if you had it on stage, it would be an elephant in the room that had to be addressed.
Right.
So it's cool that you don't have to become one note.
Yeah.
And like, because I've seen comics with like lisp or what, like, and they'll do the whole 5 minutes without talking about it, and I am just stewing in my chair. Like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Now, how am I going to know if I'm laughing at the jokes or
But I do like that about you, though, is that you aren't a stutter comic. You're a comic with a stutter. You know what I mean? Like, you're telling jokes that you have the jokes to address it.
Yeah.
And, like, when you do, like, I mean, I see you enough at mics, like you said, those rooms you're comfortable in, you'll just go up and do what you're working on.
Yeah.
But, yeah, when you're doing a show, of course, you always lead with that stuff for the same reason. You got to kind of call that secret.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was gonna say you get kind of in and out on it. Like you have like a couple of really great jokes, and then you're like, all right, y'all know I stutter. Now let's just have a conversation, and like then it's like it's cool because it is in a way like sort of like like you said, it's addressed right up top. Bang! I'm gonna make you laugh. I'm gonna make everyone comfortable with it, and then we just go, And so it's like really, it's like a cool way of. I don't know. That's the best thing about comedy to me is like you bring people in. Yeah, you bring people in, and then all of a sudden we're all just laughing together about everything, and I just love that.
Yeah. Well, were you wondering the same thing because we left off you saying like it was tough to the first 15? You didn't talk about the first 15 times you were on stage. I think that's kind of where we're at. Like, so why do you think you just didn't want to bring it up, or it just didn't come into your head? Which I get.
I remember my first time on stage. I tried to make a stuttering joke. I got I took way too long to get to the punchline.
Sure.
So I was just rambling, and I didn't even get nowhere near to the point of me even saying that I have a speech problem. So what happened? I was just surprised that I didn't stutter on stage on the mic. So I kept talking. More so waiting for me to on stage,
right?
And it didn't happen. So I kind of rambled, maybe my first few times, just anticipating that I was going to mess up,
right?
And it never came. So
that must have been such a mind fuck in like a weird way,
I'm cured, but at the worst time.
Right, yeah. It's like oh, I guess like being super nervous because there's no, and another thing for our viewers might not know, there really isn't many things that, I mean, you were in war, so it might be different, but many things that are as nerve-wracking as going up on stage. As far as
going to Iraq.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You already said you've done something way more nerve-wracking, but a lot of people have not. And so
I actually compared I used to jump out of planes. I was airborne. So
cool.
When they call you, when you're about to go out that door, that feeling is comparable to about to hit the stage. That's the closest comparison I could.
That's really
there's
interesting.
like no stutter on that countdown.
Yeah. It's either you flying or you dying. Man.
Yeah. Did they give you shit? Or I mean, it's new Army, right? But did you have like drill instructors yell at you about it or anything like that? Did anyone like? Because I would imagine the military, like boot camp. Yeah, maybe I was raised on movies or whatever, but I feel like that's where they would be like unnecessarily mean to you about it.
He was surrounded by people who were asked and told. And
I'm an overthinker, so I'm always thinking of some way. So one of my reasons I am an overthinker is to be able to manipulate my words to be able to speak. So I know what to do and how to avoid my speech problem the most. I can yell. If I yell and talk loud like this, I ain't stutter for shit. I can talk like this 100% of the time and never stutter.
That's awesome.
Yell all the time.
That's okay.
So, or I can sing. It goes along with when I was a kid. I found out that a football coach, he gave me a ride home from school after he fucked me behind the bleed. He said it wouldn't hurt, but he lied. Right?
You are burying the leads, I think.
And you didn't stutter once during it, so that was the cool thing. Yeah.
I think that might have helped me. Nah, so he's giving me a ride home.
Well, you were yelling.
Now, can we have that teacher's name? Same one, right?
After nah,
I want to call him.
What happened? So yeah, he noticed my speech problem, and he told me. He said, "Hey man, and this is in the 80s. I'm an 80s child, so this is, I don't know, 86 or 87 or something like that. So he give me a ride home. He can hear I have a problem. He says, hey man, there's this country singer. When he speaks, he can't say shit. Like anything he tries to say is horrible. Well, he sings like an angel. I wish I remembered his name, but I told this story to someone else, and as soon as I started to say it, the lady said a name, and so it's a well-known singer.
I've heard that story, although I'm having trouble placing
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy?
No. He can't talk for shit. But
I got you.
He's
that's drugs. That's a drug-induced.
Yeah, right.
Sort of
I thought that was just too British.
Just another physical ailment you can get from eating a bat, really.
Yeah, that's a good point. So when I found that out,
was it Mel Tillis?
Don't have me lying, man.
Okay.
A country 80s singer. But that sounds good though.
We'll just say it was Mel Tillis.
Yeah.
Mel
Tillis.
Very popular. Huh?
Yeah.
But them on the way here.
I lived with my auntie at the time, and when I found that out, when he told me that had me singing my answers for the longest. So that began me finding out if I sing, well, auntie. So somebody be asking me something, like, yes, what do you want? Get out of my face. If I was singing, I never had the problem.
Interesting.
So I'm like 8 years old. You don't know how big that was for me. Even that, I mean, it is a joke. It's real though.
Yeah.
Like, I never could talk right before that. I realized that. Like,
that's interesting.
It took me being able to learn. I had to be, what's the word? Melodic.
With
yeah. Words.
Yeah.
Well,
that kind of inadvertently must have helped you with comedy too, because I mean, comedy.
Exactly.
I mean, even though we are talking, we all learn our cadences.
There's like a metronome going on.
Yeah. Every comic learns how they speak, and then they try in a very small way to kind of make even their jokes have that flow and pacing and that sonic melody. Yeah. So it kind of like, it's one of those things where before you were even thinking about comedy, pre-adulthood, like knowing even what you wanted to do, you were almost training to do public speaking, you know? So.
And an extent, you got an excellent voice and breath control.
Thanks. Yeah, it's the fact.
Like it.
That's only on stage.
Yeah, you should hear me wheeze. You should hear me wheeze during sex. Mr. Finnerty knows.
That's right. You have that tattoo on your back. It says bleachers, right? So listen.
We always say bleach here with an arrow.
Yeah, I think comedy, like, because I have a trailing off problem when speaking, like, not the persona that I put out there for you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
You have definitely your voice has a melody. You have a cadence. I mean,
I had to work. Like, something I had to work on stage.
Right.
Like, the way I am now on stage and the way I communicate is. I guess it's with different people though.
Yeah,
it's not the same. I should stop. I'm a victim too, guys.
No, I remember. I don't know if I've ever told you this, Dave, but I did comedy in Los Angeles, California.
Get the.
Do we have a sound for that yet?
Why are you here?
I am failure. Lots of failure. But I was out there, and when I came back, I remember a friend, or more of an acquaintance who I hadn't seen in a long time. She was like, "You talk different now." Like just in conversation. And I was like, what do you mean? Because to me, it was imperceptible. But she was like, you talk like a comedian now. And I guess like subconsciously, even in like conversation, I was starting to frame things up and like with premises, and I was being a better communicator in general because I had learned comedy. But my friend had told me like, it's your voice, but it's a different person speaking now. So that was just after not talking for like 5 years of me,
weird. I feel like I'm the opposite. I can't have a one-on-one conversation anymore, but I can talk to a group of people if they're not allowed to talk back.
Well, that's kind of like what you were saying, Jay, right? Like going on stage, at least when you started, was a lot easier than having the conversation off stage after your set.
Face to face, yeah.
Well, you had the choice of punching this person in the like. This is a person mocking you. It's not. Just like a civil conversation.
Oh well, that person. I just meant in general when you were off stage, like having a conversation. Yeah, that guy, fuck him. But yeah.
Well, that
was just. I took it the wrong way. Actually, I shouldn't have took. I put myself up there, making fun of myself. So it was just something I had to adjust to fast.
Yeah, I mean, that is a problem with comedy. When we laugh at ourselves, a lot of times audiences kind of like, what you were saying with these people saying dumb shit. It's like people will come up and be like, oh, since you made fun of yourself, I now have a blank check to literally say whatever in my head. Like, Ed, you're ugly. It's like, all right, cool. Like, I don't know. Like,
it's a much smaller version of if they can say it in rap songs, why can't I?
Right? Once again, Dave, yes, your experience is
Hey, Dave said.
Dave turns every podcast around to this point.
I've made the rules on where. It used to. It's in the car, and it used to be with video games too. But now that they have the microphone built in, just play it safe.
But when you say in the car, you mean when people cut you off. That's the problem, Dave.
Every other car on the road, they're a hindrance to me. I fucking miss COVID. I love the empty roads of COVID. Oh
God, me too. I feel like the roads are slowly getting back to pre-COVID levels, like this fall, and I hate it. Traffic jams everywhere.
Yeah. So let it fly, but have the windows up. Yeah.
Cough. Everybody cough on everyone else. There are a lot of great video games that have come out.
It's kind of like the internet in a sense. You can say whatever, and for the most part, you never see them again.
Right.
Like you can yell and cuss, and then you'll be off about your business.
Right. There's right. You're absolutely free. It's actually better than the internet because nobody else hears you. It's all just for you.
It's only in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
The internet is forever. If you even slip up a little bit 8 years later, someone fucking saved it.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. We've got I won't even go there. We got a lot of recordings of our podcast sitting on people's hard drives, I'm sure. Just waiting around for one of us to make it. Well,
make it to SNL.
Yeah, I was going to say the joke's on them because we're the Weekday comics, baby.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to be on.
Jay, did you do any? You didn't have did no one talk to you when you were in the military about doing stand up? Were you like were you cracking jokes then?
I've always been like well, I'm kind of weird. To the people I'm close to, I can't keep my eyes off of that really descriptive dick. At first, I was deciding if that was like a depressed dog spitting out a piece of fire.
Oh, I see that.
Or is it
there's the dick.
Or is it the dick
For listeners and viewers
of like?
I'll explain. We have a door, or this is a door, right?
So this is actually our old podcast table.
Oh, okay, it's a
So,
table. It looks like a closet door, but I guess it's a table, and it's got a lot of everyone who comes through the studio. Jay, you'll sign it.
Dan, is there a reason everything looks like a closet door to you?
yeah, really. What?
Yeah, it looks like a closet door, and it looks like it's just waiting for a large, hairy man to burst out and tell the world.
Oh yeah!
Put your teeth on the bleacher. Put it on.
That dick is actually my dick on that.
Life size.
That's the light side door.
Yeah, the drop included.
He just slapped it down and traced it.
But yeah, so there's somebody drew a grotesque weenus on that thing, and Jay is very distracted by it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. It is pretty cool. And also, there's a Jay Yoder bumper sticker that I wrote, but no big deal. It's not.
And you're bringing up me and them
the military,
army, right?
Yeah.
What a coincidence. This brings up a story. I found out what is that? What is that? Teabagging.
Oh man.
Not from personal experience. This is in the early 2000s, before everybody had cameras on your phone.
Thank God.
I first joined the Army. This is in the 82nd Airborne, and in the hallway, going to PT, there was a picture in the hallway. And you glance at it on the way out, and I ain't really catch what it was. I just knew it was something weird. So I did PT, and I come back up, and I'm looking at it. Like, what the hell is that? It's a picture of a nutsack over somebody's face as they sleep. They took a picture of it, and they had it in a hallway. I was like, yo, what is that shit? And somebody told me what it was. I was like, oh shit, why are y'all doing that? Why is that? And
was it just the ball sack, dick removed from the picture?
Yeah, it was only it was only like the bottom of the ball sack. So it wasn't a whole
helmet
picture.
if the dick's involved. It's
a Roman whore helmet. Yeah.
No, you couldn't see the dick. You couldn't see the dick. All you saw was the ball.
That would be vulgar.
Yeah, for our audience
and
at home,
right over the face.
Okay, for our audience at home, a Roman whore helmet is the same exact thing Dave's describing, but the dick lays between the person's eyes, causing like a Roman helmet sort of situation. This is just a straight out teabag scenario.
And the other names for them. But, so that's when they told me that. They said that's teabag and teabagging. And then ever since then, I've heard it on everywhere.
The 82nd Airborne, though, you guys will like teabag from like 15,000 feet up.
After seeing that photo, it wouldn't surprise me.
Control the parachute, hold on, I got you.
Now
these were white dudes, obviously, right?
90. I was in the infantry.
I'm saying most
of them were,
the ball sack people.
That seems more like.
The ball sack people for sure were.
Yeah, although, like a kitchen will unite all races in sort of inappropriate sexual stuff. I never played any ball sack games in kitchens, but
I only heard about it from that movie Waiting.
Well,
I worked in, and we never did that.
Only after Waiting did I ever. I think Waiting started that shit. Honestly, I think people took inspiration from that because I never heard like the shit that would go on in kitchens that I worked in pre-Waiting. Way different than the shit that would afterwards. Was poison to the kitchen community. Stop pulling your balls out in kitchens. All right, that's my only PSA for the day.
Good.
Jay, where else have you seen balls other than the military?
I like that you were just kind of looking at it. Like I would like to think that somebody walked by as well. It's just like, oh, this is interesting. Is this like artwork, guys? What is this? Is this fine art kind of stuff? What's it supposed to be? You know, I said head to the side, trying to figure it out. I'm close.
Yeah, I
like
was real close to turn the other way.
I don't know.
That looks like a face spitting.
At one quick, I was thinking of dragon at first.
Yeah, like a dragon alien kind of thing.
There
like
you go.
Spraying like acid out of its mouth.
It just came out of somebody's chest, and that's the first thing it did.
It just came on somebody's chest.
There you go. So you were asking about me in the army as far as what?
Yeah, and I'm wondering also too. The original question is if you did stand up or just joking around and doing that kind of stuff then.
No, I got in the army in '99. I got out in '03. I didn't do stand up until 2010.
Okay.
When I came back from Iraq, that time it was as a civilian. I've been to Iraq twice in the army and as a civilian.
Well, what did you do while you were a civilian?
Maintenance. I used to be a mechanic before I drove trucks. So, and that's what I was when I was in the army. A mechanic. So when I got out, I did maintenance. I went overseas a couple of times to work maintenance. My first time I worked as a civilian overseas, I was in a car accident that put me in a coma.
Damn.
And I was what they call blacklisted, where I couldn't leave that country.
Oh shit!
To be honest, the stutter is the least interesting thing about it.
Really?
It really is.
Shit.
I'm so sorry.
You, yeah, that I
haven't even made it to those jokes yet.
Yeah, that's crazy. Dave is also blacklisted, but from Hollywood for the things he said about Jewish people.
Yeah.
So
I thought I was part of the tribe, but I was always on the outside looking in. Oy vey.
Yeah. Well, now that you realize this is all Jewish.
What did
How long
you
were you
say?
Oh, everything. Yeah. How long were you in a coma for?
3 days.
Damn.
3 days from my
Do you remember what it was like? Is there any
no,
memory from
that's what I was in a coma for 3 days, but I don't remember like a week after that too, because they had me drugged.
Oh wow.
So I was about to ask, did you wake up refreshed?
I really did.
Nice.
I woke up. Here's the weird thing. The first time I remember waking up, I was already up before this, but I don't remember these days. So the first time I remember waking up was the first time I was like, what up? This is in 2009. I was like almost 30 years old. It was the very first time I had seen my mother and father in the same room.
Oh, sure.
Wow.
Yeah, they had me when they was a little kid.
So ever, not even as like a.
By the time I remember from my childhood, they were never it. My mother was in the military, so I'd never seen them in the same room.
Were you a military brat too?
Yeah.
Okay, so you.
Brat, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that must have been like so strange to come to and be like, am I seeing this? Like, what is happening?
Amongst other, because I was in a hospital. I didn't know why I was in the hospital. The hospital. I didn't know why I was there. I knew I was overseas, and I knew why, but I didn't know why I was in the hospital, and I didn't know my dad was reading something right there in front of me. While I was in the hospital, why was my dad here? And then my mom came in behind him and walked over there. I'm like, oh shit. So that all messed me up at the same time. I'm like, yo,
you were
my
dead
parents,
for a second?
yeah.
Yeah, really.
Why am I here? And why are these Filipinos cleaning my feet and shit? Cleaning my feet
These Asian foot pads off me.
messing with my IV and shit. Like,
Also, another reason Dave is blacklisted. Filipinos.
I don't let anyone touch my feet.
You ain't never let a Filipino touch your feet.
It's true.
I mean, if I had to make exceptions.
True.
So quickly.
So quick, right?
It's his worst thing that he hates and the thing that he loves.
He's willing. He's
Gotta
willing.
make exceptions.
You got to say yes to love.
Let me get a fucking petty first. I'm not fucking. I'll let other people see my gross ass feet. They're going to get the best version.
It's a Philippetty at that
There
point.
you go. Probably not an episode.
No, it probably isn't. No, I think Reflex Ghost is.
I like that one too.
Pretty good.
So that, like the feeding tube and all that, like, is feeding tube like every coma, or like 3 days you can just?
I don't think I had a feeding tube.
Okay.
Because I didn't have no sore throat or nothing.
So you woke up hungry as shit too, I'm guessing.
Cool. I don't remember being extra hungry. I think they fed me. I just don't remember those days. My first few days out of a coma, they didn't. They still had me drugged heavily, so I ate and stuff. Or maybe they fed me through IV.
Did they know you had a speech impediment? Because then you're waking up, you're like,
well, my
no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
parents were there. Well,
Right, your parents.
actually,
Ruined my
because
bitch. Shut up.
well, let me say, it took them a while to find me. I was in a car accident, so it's a long story. But
Right.
My company I worked for didn't know where I was at the first few days. So originally, I don't know what happened.
Right.
That's
I was in a, I don't know what happened.
Were you okay after that? Like,
Yeah. What
if you
about the
came out
other
of coma?
person? Other people?
Oh man, you want to hear? Yeah, the guy who hit me. That's wild. From my understanding, he was a friend of the royal family there.
Oh, shit.
It's in the Middle East. I don't know if y'all know about Middle Eastern. They still kind of run their places like kingdoms and shit like that. So they have kings. So to be friends with them. But anyway, he was a friend of the royal family supposedly, and he was in a truck, and when he hit me, he supposedly went out the windshield and broke his arm.
Oh shit.
Good.
But he
I
was
didn't bring my
Yeah,
phone.
I was gonna say
Royal
broke his arm. Yeah.
He was at fault.
Ultimately, really, no, it was my fault. I
Oh.
was doing a U-turn. I got hit on our
To say, yeah.
broadside. Hey, y'all mind if I give him my phone?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, do that.
Let's say he.
That's crazy.
If he was at fault, say go. How about I pay you off with 10 afterlife virgins or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I had the. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, most of my experience with Saudi Kings is like the Taken movies, and they are not guys I want to.
Here, have part of my harem.
Yeah.
Just the idea of being hit by like a royal, just be like, oh, please get out of my way, like that kind of thing. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
I like how you got hit specifically by like a British gentleman in a powdered wig. Yeah.
Please.
Ooh.
You didn't go into the tires correctly.
I mean,
get into the
How
tires.
good of a royal could he be if he was driving himself?
Right. Yeah. Right.
I don't know if he was royal. Again, this is what I remember, but
That dude's a
I think he was a friend, a family friend.
Yeah.
He's like, he's invited to like the good shit, but he's gonna hang around the help.
Yeah. He's still sitting at the
He's
kids'
got to
table.
drive himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
You fucking serve your own wieners in a blanket.
I'm not ignoring y'all, like pulling out my phone. I'm pulling up a picture of my car. I was in accident.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hell
okay.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Gotcha.
We'll find that also, and we'll post that for
Okay.
everyone to see if they're interested. But yeah, that's crazy. Have you ever been in a car accident, Dave? You seem like a pretty cautious guy.
I mean, not lately. I've been in 3
Yeah.
as like a teenager.
Okay.
All of them my fault.
Yeah.
I want to get another. Like, I want to finally be on the receiving end. I would like to be on the receiving end
Okay. Of a traffic accident.
of it. Not. I would like to be not at fault, just to see. Because like I've always admit like my bad, but because I'm a pretty passive person, so I want to know for myself if I'm the type of person I'll be like, that's your fault, or someone fucking T-bones me, and I'm like, are you okay? Like, sorry that I was fucking in an intersection when you had the red light. How about you?
Several. Too many to count. I'm a bad driver. I always thought I was a good driver, and like I think on average, 95% of the time, I'm a very good driver. The other 5% of the time, I'm a fucking menace. Like,
That's
I'm an
not a good
88-year-old
percentage
woman.
at all.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I had to sort of confront the fact that, like, oh shit, I am a bad driver. Like, if I go through the voluminous amount of times that I've wrecked my car, like, I've only totaled one car, but like, I've been like pretty fucked up. Wow. Okay. Talk about totaled cars. Now, this is a totaled car. We will post this for you guys to see. This thing, oh my God, this thing looks like looks like it was a journalist reporting on the Saudi royal family. Holy shit, they beat the fuck out of this thing.
All right. Okay, so you had to like blow through a red light or something because that's totally the side. That's someone ramming into the side of your car.
Pretty much.
It's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't do anything with that.
Yeah.
Neil remembers from when he got thrown from a window and he broke his arm.
I remember when he
And
did
then,
that fucking U-turn and I hit him because I brought him.
And the ensuing coma let him shit out all his weight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Discipline
shit, that's crazy. Yeah, seeing you as a soldier is definitely a different vibe than how I know you, Jay. That's crazy.
Yeah, man, do you think the universe just kind of doesn't want you around?
What's up?
I don't know, man. I'm thinking this might be my purpose to be here. I did all that stuff to get to this point.
Yeah, the Weekday comics?
Yeah, hey, listen, shut up.
I love
That's
a low
exactly
bar.
that's exactly what
I have a low bar too.
That is amazing. I literally I cannot wait to hear your jokes about this shit.
I appreciate it.
I think that's everything all the stories you've told here are going to be like amazing jokes of yours in the future. So I think I can't wait to hear your takes on that. That's pretty crazy.
And I'm sorry to interrupt because I am pumped for that. You again, their speech about it is it's not interesting about you. It's not interesting at all. It's really not. I'd be like, yeah, cool. Listen to what he's saying.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that about it. Like, he's like, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, let's not pursue this. It'll just come to us. I've heard your shit. You have a way more interesting life than all of us combined.
But it is also time for the news.
All right.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. This is the news.
Play the new music.
Yeah.
Shoot the shit, you're talking news. We're here to shoot the shit, talking news.
I love that new song.
You pussies.
All right.
All right, here we go. This is the extreme news section from the Weekday Comics. Thank you, Neil, for the news song. I will explain, Jay, the segment you've watched before, but for any folks at home just joining us for the first time, Dave and I have written 15 jokes about the news that happened this week. I do not know what Jay has written. I do not know what Dave has written. Dave, you do?
Sure.
All right. Hell yeah. Then I also don't know what Jay has written. But also Dave doesn't know what I've written. So if we have a topic that shares, if we're doing the joke on the same news story, we will have a joke off. Shit.
Yeah.
Joke off.
Oh, hell yeah. That's way better than the last
one. That's a fucking joke off that asserts itself.
Hell yeah. That man's been joked off before. And if we are joking each other off, basically you are the judge, Jay, and you will decide which joke you like better. I will remind our viewers at home that I am up 1.
Okay, hold up. I'm weird though. So is it what I like better or what I think is the better joke?
Personal choice.
Whatever you think's in the best interest of the people. Our last guest did not do that.
No, you definitely did.
So many people have complained to me, but I'm not complaining. No recount.
That's funny. I did. Their complaints do not matter because that's the way the system works. You are the judge. We've empowered you to be.
Everyone's saying.
Everyone's saying.
I love it. Everyone's saying.
Jaye Burrell.
Oh man,
I've been actually working on my Trump, which is why not, because he's only been in the public eye for 8 years. It's probably time I should.
I can tell that.
Thanks. You got to do it all the way at the in the back of your throat, like as far back as you can get.
Really?
But yeah, it only took me 8 years of this guy being around, one of the biggest guys in the world.
World 2 was only 8 years ago.
Well, I mean, he's been around. All right. Anyway, do your fucking. You start us off.
This is actually, I fucking love when what we talk about lines up with some of the news stories. A Chicago woman, 104, dies days after attempting world's oldest skydiver record. Yeah, fortunately for her family, though, due to her advanced age, she was cremated by the time she hit the ground.
That was pretty good.
Judge imposes gag order on Donald Trump in D.C. trial. Trump was originally excited about the gag order until his lawyers explained it has nothing to do with Ivanka.
Nice.
He wants to. All right.
Yeah, I get it. I don't blame him. How many do you have?
Oh. So what am I doing? So am I saying mine now?
Yeah, if you want to do yours, go for it. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't. It's not prepared.
Well, that's okay.
Okay, so basically, happy belated Indigenous Peoples Day. Happy belated Indigenous Peoples Day. That was October 9th, I believe, was Indigenous Peoples Day. It was a beautiful day. It's no surprise that nobody knows what it is, just like the original Indigenous peoples weren't known to be here, and they just were the white folks that came here. It was like, hey, you know what? Forget y'all. You know what? My smallpox will fit right over there in that corner. I'm still working.
I like that. Yeah, we took every day used to be Indigenous Peoples Day here in America, and so we were like, you can have one.
All right. Seinfeld star gives fans hope 25 years after the beloved sitcom was canceled. Although many fans are skeptical because based on his history, Seinfeld has never waited 25 years to jump on anything.
Great joke. Great joke. Seinfeld dated a girl in high school when
Seinfeld was at his peak, he was engaged to a 17-year-old.
Oh, really?
We all forgot about it somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
We all kind of blanked.
It's coming back to me now.
Yeah. Dylan Mulvaney wins Woman of the Year award, causing rednecks everywhere to shoot their women.
I actually have a joke on.
All right, here we go.
Shit. Hold on, no, wait. Everything's delayed.
All right. Dylan Mulvaney awarded Woman of the Year by UK Magazine. Despite not being known as progressive, Great Britain has made huge strides acknowledging that Dylan Mulvaney is a woman. However, they will still beat you up if you try to claim Bud Light is a beer.
Yeah, that's good. All right, Jay, you get to be the judge. Which one did you like?
Out of one or the whole?
Oh, no. Just only
the...
those two. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Dave.
All right, we're tied. There we go. You got one.
Yeah.
You got one. And we're tied again. God damn it. I just want to build like a substantial lead on you again. I had it once. All right.
It was close.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm not upset that the joke didn't win. It's more of an overall rivalry. I would, if I got 6 up on him on the worst 6 jokes I've ever written, I would be equally happy. I just want to win.
I kind of stammered over my punchline, so I think that was relatable.
You son of a bitch. All right. U.S. Congressman George Santos charged with 23 criminal counts. Though Santos defended himself by saying this is a malicious attempt by the deep state to break up his new relationship with Taylor Swift.
All right.
I got to get all of George Santos' lies about everything out of the way because he's going to be gone soon.
Pete Davidson admits he's trying to find his mom a date. She's a catch. Although based on their history, they may want to hold off until a certain part of the world is a little less pissed off.
All right. Trump suggests he might be more famous than Jesus, but theologians agree, doubting this. I'm sorry, excuse me. Let me try that one more time. Trump suggests he might be more famous than Jesus. Theologians doubt this claim, saying a body like Donald Trump's was not made for a crucifix.
I had you ahead, but you lost a little bit of your lead.
I understand. It's okay. I'm sure we'll try better. I'm going to try better for you.
All right. Meta removing post containing misinformation about attack on Israel. This will also include postings with pictures of your children or adorable animals due to people just assuming Israel blew them up too.
Yeah. You told me you went at
Let's make fans this week.
You weren't ignoring it. When we stepped in, he's like, I'm not ignoring the war of my jokes this week. Yeah.
Yeah. You let it sit for a week.
Yeah, you gotta let it
treat it like it's 9/18.
You gotta let it marinate for about 75, 80 years. Porn star Mia Khalifa dropped from Playboy podcasting deal after pro-Palestine comments. Mia says she will move her podcast to Patreon as she already feels much more comfortable working to get small deposits.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Thanks.
I'm a fan.
You like Mia?
Yeah.
You a fan of Mia? I like Mia.
I mean, I doff my cap to all of them who put it out there for me to fucking,
Sure. I like how people are mad, though. I do kind of like that people are this pissed off. Like, how dare Mia Khalifa, the woman we look to in times of crisis, how dare you say something irresponsible, Mia Khalifa? I don't know.
Speaking of which, this is okay. This one I know is bad, but it made me chuckle, so maybe it'll have that. Like, but I'm acknowledging that
you're hedging already. So.
Yeah. France bans all pro-Palestinian protest. And on top of that, while all French government buildings will still have hummus at the cafeteria, they're now going to call it freedom paste.
I like it.
So bad.
That's okay, because I have one equally as bad, and ironically, it's the next joke in the list, so we can match lame joke for lame joke. Egypt warned Israel days before Hamas struck, U.S. committee chairman says, in a message that ominously said, bird, alligator, dog, bird, palm tree.
I like that one.
Thank you.
All right. Jada Pinkett Smith says Chris Rock asked her out during previous Will Smith divorce rumors. This is great for Rock, though, because although he wasn't able to avoid getting slapped, he apparently did dodge a bullet.
U.S. prisoners who did not consent to ivermectin COVID treatment win payout in Arkansas. As part of the settlement, prisoners will receive extra time to gallop around the yard and eat any apples visitors choose to feed them.
There you go. All right. Man pleads guilty to stealing Wizard of Oz ruby red slippers from museum. The worst part is he could have avoided himself a lot of hassle if he just clicked his heels 3 times and said, "There's no place like getting raped in the shower."
Well, not only do we have a joke off. This might be, we've had a few of these before where we might have to default to default judgment, but I'll read mine anyway. Man expected to plead guilty to stealing Wizard of Oz ruby slippers from Minnesota Museum. He will ask the judge for mercy, saying, "There's no place like house arrest." There's no place like house arrest. So there you go. You can't pick a winner there. That's gotta be it. We did the same joke.
It's basically the same.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm not even going to submit it because then it's just a roll of the dice, and I refuse.
Yeah. All right. Shooting at State Fair in Dallas injures 3 people. The mayor came out and said, "How did things get so bad in Dallas? I mean, firing into a crowd with no kills. We're the home of the state with the most accurate kill shot in history."
Yeah, they have a reputation to uphold.
Yeah, a moving car.
Whatever. They needed a second shooter. Yeah, come on. An Alabama woman was imprisoned for endangering her fetus. She gave birth in a jail shower. Unfortunately, in this prison, everyone gets beat up on their first day.
Oh, Lord. All right. Here's a silly one. 35-year-old son of a banana tycoon set to become Ecuador's next president. He won over the population with promises that under his presidency, Ecuador will become the leading nation in agriculture, nutrition, and comical falls.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. North Carolina Republicans are creating a secret police force, though we will have to call them brown shirts because their uniforms are covered in barbecue sauce. They're North Carolinians. I don't know. I drank a lot when I wrote these, so
good on you. Soccer star Alicia Lehman reveals she was offered big sum to spend night with celebrity. She said she found the proposition very insulting, especially after she found out what she was offered was only a fraction of what he's willing to go gay for a male soccer player. Yeah.
I could hear you use your enthusiasm for that joke as you went on. Netflix plans to open brick and mortar locations. where customers will be able to walk around the store for an hour without deciding on what to watch, physically pick up a thing they've seen before, and fuck in the aisles.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I looked at that one a while and didn't come up with anything.
I did that with the skydiving old lady. So there we go.
I love it. I love it when we complete each other's thoughts.
Like an old couple.
Yeah.
Completely.
I'll be the Renee Zellweger. Former NFL star Antonio Brown arrested on warrant pertaining to alleged unpaid child support. The mom knew it was time to file legal action when halfway through feeding the baby mush peas, he stripped off his Father of the Year shirt and stormed out.
Mr. Big Chest himself. I miss Mr. Big Chest. All right. IRS says Microsoft owes an additional $29 billion in back taxes, though they have been unable to serve a subpoena to Clippy, who was last seen crossing the border to Mexico in 2007.
Yeah, I like Clippy with a sombrero.
Yeah.
That's a funny visual.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Cricket, flag football, lacrosse, and squash are coming to the 2028 LA Olympics. The Olympic Committee figured this was the best way to hedge their bet, just in case non-whites started meddling in the equestrian events.
Right. Oprah Winfrey pitched a White House run with Mitt Romney, new book says, trying to finally give the electorate an administration that will hand out books for free before taking them back and burning them.
That's a goodie.
Thank you.
All right, my last one. Easily one that we're not going to be able to post anymore. Ending with a bang.
Wait, your last one? Did I miscount here? I thought.
I mean, there was a joke off, so maybe
that's why. Anyway, go ahead.
Around.
Your last joke.
Hezbollah destroys Israeli surveillance cameras along the Lebanese border as tension soars. And between this and the writer and actor strikes, this has gone down as one of the worst years for cameras owned by Jews.
All right. And my last one. Bruce Willis, not totally verbal, as friend shares dementia update. Or as Bruce describes it, talk hard.
Oh, fucking what?
Oh, man.
Fucking what?
Sorry. Sorry, Bruce.
Man. Look who's not talking. We could have also got with.
Yeah.
What a perfect.
Jesus.
What a great
I thought I was ending on a fucking dour note.
There we go.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Hey, thank you. Well, that is it. That's the news. One joke off today.
Yeah.
That's good. That means we covered the whole gamut of news.
Oh, right. We had one cancel out.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
So 2 joke offs, but we told the same joke, which is also pretty remarkable in and of itself.
I'm pretty sure you won this second round.
There you go. Hear that? We don't count.
Was there round 2?
Well, yeah, there was, but
It
was the same exact joke, so we agreed to kind of throw it. But you're right. It was the same joke, and I told it better. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. But yeah, we're good. We remain now tied officially. A development I am not happy about, but it's okay. I'll get you next week. And that's the news. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening, everybody, doing our podcast. Jay, before we go, why don't you tell the people what you got coming up in the next couple of weeks? Like if you have any shows, if you have anywhere people can see you, and also like where they can follow you on social media.
I've got all types of shows. Let me see. Show number 1, next Tuesday, Soul Joe's. Go out to Soul Joe's. It ain't no show. Please stop lying. It's an open mic. Usually a spot I go to. And Wednesdays I go to Tuned Up Brewery. And
where we shot our live episode of the podcast.
Really?
Yes, the friends of the podcast.
Exactly. So and I got other spots that I can't think of off the top of my head. My name is Jaye with the E. I'm Jaye Burrell, Burrell, Jaye Burrell, at all social medias at what is that? The IG. Yeah, there you go. And Facebook, same name, and I'll get on the other ones under the same name as well.
Okay.
But yeah, I will be taking a class soon. I took one punchline class, but anyway, I don't have anything where I can solidify dates. So.
Well, I'm going to get you on. We'll talk, but either December or November, I want to get you on my animated brewing show. I've been meaning to ask you now that I got you here. I'll ask you on air. So we'll get you on that. We'll see. I'm probably.
What's that mean? Like the end of the month?
Third Thursday of every month.
Okay.
I have to relook at November because Thanksgiving makes it a little complicated. So I'll let you know. We'll compare dates and we'll see if we can get you on.
No problem.
And I'll announce it here when we're coming up on it.
Sweet.
Yeah, and also you're talking about melody. I saw you did the BURRELL. I like that. You got a little melody even there. That was cool.
It helps you.
So I don't have to say it was cool. It was like the cool ass way to say your name, man. All right, Dave, what do you got going on?
There's the November 2nd show. That's the PJ show. Same place where my high school reunion was, so I'm going to go there for the first time.
PJ Ryan's?
Wellahan's.
Oh,
Yeah,
PJ
it's in
Wheelahands.
Cherry Hill. Yeah, so it's near. This week I'll be in New York.
Wow.
Fictional one. I will be swinging around as Spider-Man. Can't do
Miles
that.
Morales or
Can't
Peter
do that in
Parker?
real New York. Fucking Spider-Man 2 comes out, so don't bother me.
Is that a Miles or a Peter?
Both.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Oh, it's gonna be fucking
Shit.
nice.
Yeah. maybe I'll just buy Starfield, then that way we both won't do any work.
There you go.
On Tuesday.
Yeah.
We'll see. But that's
What do
cool.
you got?
What do I have? Well, speaking of animated brewing is this Thursday at the Animated Brewing Company in Parksburg. We've got a great show for you. It's going to be me, the very, very funny Chris Dolan.
Oh, nice. Who will be on the show November.
He will be on the show soon. We have Barry Naylor, very, very funny comedian Barry Naylor, and friend of the show Luke Kincaid will be hosting.
Oh,
So that's right.
He's
Funny
got
guys.
yeah,
Absolutely.
he's got a great podcast too, The Sick Ghouls with Otis Timlin.
That's
And I'll
good.
shout them out because they shout us out in every episode.
They
so
do.
far.
We love you, Sick Ghouls. You guys are great. With maybe one of the only podcasts we will not co-sign our names on, even though we say all kinds of massively awful stuff live here online every Tuesday. But the Sick Ghouls are very funny guys, very nice guys. Otis Timlin and Luke Kincaid, friends of the show. Go ahead and check that out if you like our style. If you like the edgy stuff we do, you're definitely gonna like those two guys. Neil, what do you got going on?
Oh yeah, you can just here. I brought it up for everybody, and I brought up your Instagram as well. This way they can check them out for all our viewing audience. We go over to check out all the other podcasts on the network, and you can get all the dates and details and a bunch of other stuff. All the links for the Weekday comics there, their link tree, all kinds of good stuff over at droptent.com/podcast. And you can check out all our shows and events over there at
3 new ones
events.
on there.
So you
Oh
can
yeah,
check
how about
out
that?
us.
We wouldn't know we weren't booked on them.
What do I want to talk about?
November 16th, we talked about it already, so it's fine. I've got a lot going on. Autumn Lake Winery, you can
Great.
check-
The Autumn Lake Winery is a great show.
It's
Dave
a-
and I did it. Really fun.
It's very,
Check
very
it out.
fun. Yeah. Like I said, I think we're gonna have you guys back on November 16th. I checked with you guys last week. We're gonna get you guys on for that one. So check out all the events over there, and you can see us at Myers in November, November 10th. Those shows kick off 2 shows. And yeah, all the other stuff. And you can check me out, IamNeilWood.com, for all my dates and details. I will be in Hamilton, New Jersey, October 20th over at 3-3's Brewing for Boston Comedy Club show. So go check that out. Tickets are up now. I appreciate you. Thanks, Dan and Dave.
You got it. Thank you,
Hey,
Neil. We
yeah.
appreciate you as always. That's the show, Jay.
Jay,
Thank
that was
you.
awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was awesome,
Thank
Thank
man.
you all
so
for
much
having
being
me.
on.
It's an honor.
Well, thank you. Please, the honors all over here, man. You were great.
Don't inflate our egos.
Yeah, more over this
Yeah.
this guy. Thank you guys for listening. Go Phillies, and we'll see you next week.
Oh, there we go. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, man, that was we fucking landed that like Kerry Strug should have.
How you doing? This is Neil Wood from the Cult of Us podcast, speaking on behalf of DropTent Media Network, the network you're currently listening to. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. You can go to droptent.com to check them all out. Make sure to like, subscribe on everything that you see DropTent on. We appreciate it. Go to droptent.com now.
This has been a DropTent Media production.